What's up, world? So, we're here for my love story. A little bit of love doesn't go a hard way. We're here for the love story, the weekly love story. I'm gonna refresh these girls and we're gonna have a chat. You don't have to wait for people to buy flowers for yourself. And I've been doing this for a while now, honestly, is buying flowers for myself because innately it brings me joy. That's one. And two, what girl doesn't like to have their own bouquet of flowers? We often wait for people to give us flowers instead of us giving ourselves that bit of joy from them. So stop waiting. Stop waiting for people to do stuff, nice things for you. Everyone deserves to have a beautiful ensemble of gorgeous flowers, right? Because see, these girls didn't open, but hopefully this time around I can get them to reopen. And I'm gonna have this really huge vase. Like, this girl is ready to kick the bucket. I save my petals, I let them dry, and then I make oils with them. So like, this will become my peony love oil, self-love oil for myself, you know? Like little tips and tricks and things I've learned over the course of time. They really do. They smell so gorgeous. And then I'll compost these and put them back into the earth. I try to make my carbon fingerprint as conducive as possible. Even though I live in like a condo complex, I still have like a compost bin on my porch. It's small, but I still do the things I need to when I need to do them. So don't let where you live stop you from where you're going. Like, sometimes we often get stuck in that, oh, well, I don't live in this and I don't live in that, but you're living, right? You are living. Stop waiting for others to romanticize you and start romanticizing. I love these. I don't even know what they're called. Let's see. Orangums. They're really pretty. I'll put what they are down in the captions. Pick up things. Of course, I got peonies. These are different colors. Some greenery and some more eucalyptus. Like, I love the way these look in the vases. They're just so pretty. And like, once they dry out, you don't have to get rid of them. You can keep them as a dry ensemble arrangement, or you can make oils out of them, air fresheners, things of that nature. Because like, it just makes a different pop effect happen. Like, I love the way the eucalyptus accented. Oh no. Hopefully that's the only one that falls like that. And the other ones actually just reopen, which we'll see because they're in warm water. So they should start opening up. We'll see what happens. It's always worth a shot to try and revitalize. It's always worth a shot to try and revitalize the flowers that you purchase, you know? Get your money's worth out of them. These are gonna add the drama. I don't take off all the leaves. Like, I know people take off all the leaves. I like foliage in my arrangements. Romanticize yourself. Put pretty things in your home. Don't listen to other people about their opinions and their bullshit of, oh, why you doing that? Fuck them, straight up. Because one thing's for certain, if you don't do it and you're waiting for other people to, but don't wait for anybody. Like, romanticizing your life and trying to manifest things. Everybody's always like, oh, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. First and foremost, manifestations come in when you feel them. When you feel like that manifestation. Not when you're trying to act like it. You have to be in the feeling of it. You're trying to be in love. You're trying to manifest the love. How are you going to manifest something that you're not doing for yourself? How are you going to do that? When you start learning to lean into you instead of worrying about everything else, that's when everything that you're asking for starts coming in and praying for starts coming in. So there's a sugar that gets produced on these. That's why people soak them in warm water, the bulbs. So this helps break up that sugar that keeps them closed. Little floral tricks I've learned over the course of the year. And these should open because they're gonna sit in this warm water until it turns cool, basically. And they should open right up. I like it when they open kind of like simultaneously because it's so pretty. Like, peonies are one of my favorite flowers. Like, to get a bouquet of peonies out of. And like, I kind of want these to open and bloom in the foliage. Like, I have really become so addicted to me, and it took me many years. I was in a relationship that wasn't the best, and it really was an eye-opener for myself, right? We could bash our exes, we could talk all that shit, right? We could talk all the shit we want, but the truth is we allowed ourselves to be in those situations because there was something that we needed, right? Ultimately, people don't want to own some of the shit that happens in the relationships with your ex. Everybody wants to place the blame, and oh, it was his fault, it's his fault, this one. It's also your own. It's also your own fault because you placed yourself there. You allowed yourself to stay somewhere where you knew you shouldn't have been, right? You knew you should have no longer been, and you accepted the bullshit. And if you haven't learned from any of that bullshit, and you're still like, it's his fault, it's his fault, it's her fault, it's her fault, then you're just gonna keep moving on and carrying that same fucked up baggage into every new relationship you go into, because ultimately you're the reason. You're running from yourself, and you're thinking that getting into new relationships is the answer, when the reality is you really just need to sit the fuck down and do some work on yourself. Ultimately, like, I get asked so many times, all the time, like, it's an all the time thing. Why are you single? I'm single by choice. I've been single for 7 years, going on 8, and I love it here. And in that singlehood, I literally found myself. I looked at all my toxic traits, my things that I wasn't doing, my boundaries that I wasn't setting, like the need to be up under somebody. Like, I had trauma and baggage that I really wasn't dealing with. And my last relationship showed me all of it. It opened my eyes to everything that I was not. Everything that I was asking for in somebody, I needed to learn how to give myself. Right? I really did. And ultimately, it ended up working out better for me, because that's when I truly, like, understood it. I wanted flowers. I wanted gestures of love and kindness and honesty and like respect. But I was never gonna get it from somebody, one, who wasn't doing any healing work on themselves. That's first. And 2, from a person that didn't even have self-respect, you know? And then ultimately, in the end of it, I lacked respect for myself because I was allowing myself to be put in this fucking situation. How ironic, right? How ironic to think to yourself, or not say to yourself, maybe I am also the fucking problem. Maybe I'm also the problem. Because if I wasn't so gung-ho to settle for fucking less, right? I wouldn't be sitting here in the bullshit with this motherfucker, you know? Sometimes to do better, you gotta learn. You gotta know better. And when you know better, that is when you ultimately will do better, for real. Like, I'm really at that place where I'm very cautious on how I date. I feel like, good questions, preliminaries. And if you can't fully answer them and meet me on those, I'm all set. I don't even want to accept the offer for dinner. I don't, because this woman that I am today, giving you guys my love story and telling you about my love story, it took me 7 years and longer than that, because I was in a relationship for 9.5, and before that I was in another relationship for 8. But I was in a relationship for like 9.5 years, begging someone to give me something that I ultimately needed to learn for myself. So instead of begging somebody to give you something that ultimately they can't fucking give you, give it to yourself. Start facing those hard truths. Start swallowing those hard pills. Start looking at yourself, because you could journal. You could do all that shit. You could go on walks. You could be doing all these things. But ultimately, if you're not fucking looking at yourself and facing yourself in the mirror every day and really looking at it, look in the mirror and start giving it to yourself. Changing habits, doing consistent work, going to therapy, learning things, studying terms, looking at it from a different perspective, not only the perspective of, oh, he hurt me, or oh, she hurt me. And why? Because you allowed it. Because you didn't have no self-respect. Because you didn't have no fucking boundaries. So ultimately, the people that you end up with are going to do the same fucking thing. That is all. That is it. And like always, thank you for showing up. And remember that you're the biggest and the greatest. And I love y'all. Peace to my love story. See you later.